All right, so I guess I am already streaming. I was trying to do a quick test, but it didn't even allow me to. But let's check and make sure that this is properly streaming. And it is. Yep. All right. Okay, getting there. Okay, it's perfect. So, hello there. My name is Reverend Dr. Marie Beville. Welcome um, to my channel. I was trying to find a good position. I apologize today because no matter what I do, I'm not truly comfortable. So I had to keep like switching around, and I've been trying to get on for quite a while now, and yeah, it still hasn't worked out. So how are you today? What you been doing with your life, if I may? What's been going on with you? How's your family? How are you? How are you progressing during this pandemic? I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's not even a pandemic. I don't know. It's like a plague or something. God forbids. But yeah. Um, yeah, so how are you doing overall? I'm trying to like put it. Okay. Okay. I sent it. So, as I said, how are you guys doing? How's everything going? How's life? How's everything? Do you feel comfortable now? Do you feel more secure? Do you feel there's hope with everything going on? Because it's been quite a lot of, how can I say, a variety of news and mind changing and doing this and doing that. And at the end of the day, really, no one knows for sure if this is what we're going to do or not. So, um, I need to stop turning my neck because every time I try, I just make my situation worse. So that's why I have to like open my eyes, but it is not necessarily helping. But nevertheless, tonight, as you see the title, I wanted to talk about your energy. Um, a lot of times people don't talk, certain people, I should say, don't like to talk about these kind of things. They think they're like woo woo, you know. While in the meantime, it is something serious in life that we should really consider. So, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So, I wanted to talk about like protecting your energy because a lot of times, we do things with people, we talk with people, we hang out with them, we network with people, we just do things all the time with people, and we may not take time to consider the energy around those folks. It's like, is it good, is it bad, is it something that I'm looking forward to, is it working out for me? And oftentimes, people don't. It's until it really gets worse, and that's when people are like, okay, you know what, I need to do something about this. I can't take it anymore, and yada yada, and you know the rest. So I want you to keep in mind that you must protect your energy at all times. You know how they say when someone transition, energy never dies. So you're like forever going to be here, but how do you plan on being here? Are you going to be here in a way where you allow all these memories to sit in your energy, to sit in your memory? Or are you going to ensure that you have some good time? You ensure that the time you had here was wonderful. The energy that bleh, the energy that you projected is pretty much the best, is what you were looking for. Um, yeah. So that's kind of like where we heading today. Um, you know, like for example, and I think this is probably the main example that I'd like to use today. Like when you want to be there for people, but first you got to keep in mind that you must be there for yourself. It's like sometimes you want to be there for people, but um, they don't even realize that you're trying to be there for them. And sometimes some people may mistreat you, or the way they talk to you is not so respectful. Um, so when you're hanging with people, when you're around people, when you're having them in your environment or you're going to their environment, you got to make sure that it is a good environment, a balanced environment, you know. Um, Otherwise, if you don't, they will steal your energy, they will take it from you, they will waste your energy, they will take it from you and abandon it somewhere while you could have used your own energy. Um, all kind of stuff like that. So uh you got to make sure that you protect your energy, otherwise you may lose it. Of course you're not going to lose your entire self, but you understand where I'm coming from. You got to make sure like to get what you need, what you must, to ensure that you are at all time protected. Don't allow others to decide how you feel or change the way that you feel. It's easy it's easy to be nice to people, but when you're being nice to people and then you suffer later, is not it's not good. It is not good. You gotta work on attracting what you desire and need. Especially when you start seeing things that are like too repetitive, like abusive relationships, um cheating partners. Excuse me. It's starting early already. Um, Unbelievably, I think I shared this before. It's a medication that I'm taking that makes me yawn like crazy. And this is good. At least I can talk. There are times I can't talk at all. All I do, oh, oh, and I can't get a word out, you know? So I wasn't sure. I thought it was crazy. But I started reading like, those papers, the fine print that they send with the papers. And, I get something and I'm like, I have to see what it is. And then when I saw that, I thought I was a typo. I thought that was weird. You take a medication that makes you yawn. And then so I I had to call my pharmacist, call my doctor, and yeah, it's the medication. So there you have it. Um, so yes, you have to like do your best to attract what you want and need, but I'm not gonna get into like attraction right now. So that would have to be like some other videos. I don't know. I can't recall for sure right now if I have anything on it, but hey, feel free to browse through my stuff. And when we're talking about protecting yourself, some people they use the color white, because it absorbs any and everything. Whereas black, I mean, did I say it doesn't absorb everything, whereas black absorbs everything in its environment. So that's one thing, for example. Oh my God. And some people, you see why I had to like make notes, otherwise I would forget everything I have to say. It's already hard as it is. Some people use their God, whoever is your God, um the most high. I like to say the most high. I like to know that the person, the if I'm dealing with an with I don't want to say with an external power because God is within, but I like to feel that if I'm dealing with something, if I had to call on something extra other than myself, it would have to be the highest, that created the universe and everything within. So, and some people like to say the universe. Some people like to say infinite power, which is not something I don't say. I say that as well at times, depending what I'm referring to or what I'm talking about. Oh, Jesus, Yahweh, Buddha, prayers, um, and some other people may just refer to their trees, their crystals, their water, special waters, and so on and so forth. We're not necessarily going to go deep into that, but this is to just say that no matter what it is that you choose to utilize, you just got to make sure that the protection for your energy is present. You make sure that you are protected. Because when you're not protected, you open to anything. Anything can attack you, any negative ideas can go through, any negative ideas can go through your head. You don't want negative things to enter your mind. You have enough in your mind on your own, so you don't want anything extra. I guess my bee wanted to say hello. That's why I'm like, um, and sometimes some people are in certain situations and and they telling you about certain things that are going on in their lives, um, their circumstances, how they're not feeling well, they're not able to go back to school to pay their bills, to move forward with this marriage and whatever it is, or to even get a divorce. Sometimes in certain situations, and probably even most situations, all you have to do is really sit there and listen to them. Because a lot of times, people are not necessarily looking for the suggestion that you're telling them. And that's why sometimes you end up like having a conversation and it just goes forever. It's like you never get to the bottom of it because We just never can, because you're suggesting something and the person is like, well, no, I don't really think so. Well, my husband is giving me trouble and I wanted to leave him, but and you're like, okay, his uh he's a lawyer, his number, he's a organization that can help you dealing with the trauma. And like you're like looking for things, and you're like, what about the children? Have you guys talked about it? You know and then the person tells you, well, I don't really want the divorce right now. I want to like see some things else, some other things to see if I'm gonna make you know. And then here you were thinking, trying to realize, well, what else can I offer her? I feel so bad for her. Maybe I can look for this organization, that organization, and then here you are doing all this work for nothing. And now when the person responds like that, you feel insulted, you feel annoyed, you feel frustrated, because you put so much work, so much time you invested into trying to find all this information. The person, all they had to do is, initially they could have been like, you know what, just pump your brakes, I'm not ready for all that, I was just venting, and it would have been over with. Some people go through the process with you. You just keep on going, and all these information. You might even go online, look for information, printing information, calling for them, only to find out later on they're not gonna do anything. So that's why sometimes people are complaining, if they want to do other things in life, if they want to get married or get divorced, go back to school or quit school, if they're sick or um, healthy, too healthy, if that's even possible. Sometimes you just listen quietly. You just don't say anything until they say, that silence. And then they say, are you there? And you're like, yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. And then they say, what do you think? What should I do? You know? And sometimes it's good to say, well, what do you want to do? Because you don't want to make decisions for people and later on they're gonna be like, well, she's the one that caused me to get divorced because she kept pushing it down my throat. She kept making me think like I needed a divorce, but now I realize I should just work harder on my marriage. So don't make decisions for people. Sometimes certain people, if you're an empath, and or I mean, I'm a Virgo, so I know Virgos very well. Some Virgos, especially like August Virgos, and I don't know, sometimes people are just different, they just born under different moons. But some of us, we're like um very caring, always ready to nurture everybody. And but I had someone who just didn't care about anybody, who was also a Virgo, but a September Virgo. But yet again, I know September Virgos that are like very caring, so it's like sometimes we can never say 100%. Sometimes I just tell them, the ones that are not caring, I say, I don't think you were a Virgo. I don't think you were born I don't think it's the 24th. I think it was the 22nd of August. Or I don't think it's the 22nd of September. I think it was the 27th instead. They made a mistake because it's like, Virgos are very caring people, always looking out for others. So anyhow, certain people, when they say things, it is sometimes, in a lot of us nature, when people are going through things and you're just like, okay, let me help you out. What can I do? What else can I do to help you out? And next thing you know, you go and you work out and you do all that thing for them, only for them to just quit on you. So You gotta watch out how you spend your energy, where you invest your energy, that it is for a purpose, that you're not just spending your energy, that instead of investing your energy, you're spending your energy, you know. So when you invest, when you circulate your energy, it comes back to you, you know. But when you're just spending it, it just gone and it just doesn't come back. So and also, you know, when you keep collecting people, you keep collecting people's problems, eventually, you know, they can change your vibe. They might cause a change, a modification in your attitude, you know. You were happy when you rise up this morning, and by the time you get to the kitchen, you got a phone call of someone's husband was giving them trouble, who didn't take out the garbage and blah blah blah. And here you are, yours didn't take out the garbage, and you were okay with it. But because of the problem that the others are going through, and they saying that it's not right to not take out the garbage first thing in the morning, and you have to wake up and, you know, rise up and come see it, that it's not okay. Now all of a sudden you switch your attitude and you're letting him know that it's not okay. It is not okay that I have to rise up after I work hard all day, and then for you to come, all you got to do is take out the garbage, and you can't even do that. And this is not right. You're, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you go on and on and on. So you have to decide what you allow in and what you won't allow inside, because once they are in, they are going to, I don't want to say take over, but they are going to infiltrate, if I may. So don't let your attitude affect you. Don't let their attitude affect you in any way. um you know, flow with your own attitude and vibe and energy. You know, don't flow with theirs, you know. They're telling you something, you can listen, you can understand, but you don't have to go their way. You don't have to become upset. You don't have to, you know. Sometimes something I do, you know, when I'm in the elevator and people are complaining about, you know, oh, it's so cold and, you know, whatever, whatever. I'm like, yeah, no, we should have been in Arizona. And suddenly, you know, they catch themselves really quick, because it's like Arizona's so hot. And unless someone is meant to be there, they're not just gonna be there for no reason. So, um, yeah, you know, so you gotta, you're in gratitude, stay in gratitude. Don't let the other person change your mind, change your ways, about everything. All right. uh and don't force people to understand the obvious, you know. When someone should be of a certain age to understand um something that happened, or something, you know, some way that they should be, if the person does not have any psych or mental issues, mental delay, they should understand properly. So don't put yourself in a situation like, uh let me see, like I talk to people, you know, of course, like right now. And sometimes you would find people, instead of listening and understanding the proper methods and techniques that you're giving them to understand, instead they're more, it's more important to them to be right instead of resolving the matter. It's more important for them to be right instead of resolving the matter. So if someone is more interested in being right instead of resolving the matter, you're never going to get anywhere. And I told somebody that recently. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my energy into trying to make you understand because right now I can see that all that matters to you is being right. You don't care to listen to the other person. And I can see that you only want to, you know, um, listen to your own voice. And it seems like, and a lot of times, people are like that. That's what matters to them. It's not because they're mean or they're bad people, but it just sometimes people are in certain environment where everybody's just clapping for them. And when they get to a different environment, people are not clapping for them and they're like, something wrong with this environment. What's wrong with these people? But not at all. Nothing is wrong with it. It's just you're either upgrading or degrading environment, or you're just in an environment where people are actually confident. They know who they are, or people are professional. They know about the situation and they know how to handle it. And so, it's like sometimes it's like you can't try to convince a, f- a 45-year-old that they shouldn't drink and drive. That should be common sense. Do not drink and drive. So if this person want to drink and drive, you're just gonna have to, when they leave, call the cops or something so they don't go kill somebody down the road you know so it's just certain things. It should just be common sense. I know that common sense is not common, of course it is not, but there are certain things that you just should know. You might make a mistake, you might make a mistake, and I don't know, like put foil in the microwave, thought you could just warm up in the plate from, if you got Chinese food or something. You might make a mistake like that, but you're not gonna take the plastic bowl and put it on the oven or put it on the stove. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna put it in the oven or put it on the stove because it's plastic, you know? So just things like that, although, there are many things that we could consider that are common sense, but sometimes people just don't know. So you should not be forcing someone to understand. It's like it should be common sense that if you have kids, it is your responsibility to pay for their school or take them to school or whatever it is that needs to be done. You cannot expect other people to do it for you, and then be mad when other people don't do it because they have to go to work, and now you're upset. And no, that's common sense. You should know that this is your responsibility, not the other person's responsibility. And don't try to put yourself in the shoes of people who wouldn't even put um who don't even want to walk in their own shoes. All right, don't try to put yourself in the shoes of people who don't even want to walk in their own shoes. So when people are pretty much like failing to do what they were supposed to do, don't try to jump in and try to take over. And no, let them deal with it. Let them deal with the consequences, because sometimes people learn through consequences. So if this is the type of person, then so be it. Let them deal with it. Don't keep enabling people to keep doing the wrong things. you know they have to learn. So at the end of it all, just protect yourself no matter what. no matter who you're with, no matter where you are, always protect yourself. Nothing matters. Nothing is greater than that. So, because as I said, if you don't protect yourself, you're open to anything else. This is why sometimes people move into a home and they can stay in the home because stuff start coming in, stuff start disappearing. I mean, sometimes so many things are gone, you would think they got robbed. So you have to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you got to make sure to keep your energy at a good place. And when you're in an environment that doesn't pull a chair properly for you, walk away. Stop making excuses. Stop saying, oh, it's not his fault. It's not her fault. It's because of the environment. They didn't grow up with parents. That's not your responsibility. You didn't give birth to that child. You know, you didn't give birth to, I don't know, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You didn't give birth to them. If they don't understand how life works, then they just have to go somewhere to learn how life works. It is not your responsibility to give up on your own life so you can teach them how they're supposed to be in life. I hope you hear me and you hear me clear. Um, give meaning to yourself, make yourself matter. You know, I'm not saying to look into ego, but I'm saying to ensure that you matter, ensure that you're part of your life. You have memories with yourself, good memories, that is. It's not a matter of taking care of everybody else and then you forget yourself. No, I'm saying ensure that you give meaning to your life, to yourself. You make yourself matter. You make yourself important too, because sometimes some people, they make everybody else important. They will take care of everything else for everybody else, even when everybody else doesn't take care of them, even when everybody else does not respond to them when they're in need. So that's really important. Like I remember, oh, I shouldn't say it, you know, when when I had certain events in my life, and some people that were, I should say, due to be there, some people that were supposed to be there were not there, for whatever reason, and I had to mention it. It wasn't shade, it wasn't mean, it wasn't even upset. It was just a little bit of disappointment. And I had to let it be known because to some of these places, my candle. That was so scary. Can you take the top for me, baby? Come here. Open. Leave the door open. Leave the door open. This thing is so sensitive. It's okay. Get the top. Get the top so I can up all the way on top. The gold. Yeah. Thank you. Can you open my window real quick?
Sure. Can
Baby, come on. I'm live. I have to finish up.
Oh. Okay.
So, as I said before, I was interestingly, I don't think that was disturbed. I think that was a wake up. You see all of a sudden now I'm ready to like sit up and get this done. So, yeah. So you matter. Leave the door open, Shay. Thank you, Shushu. Um, make yourself matter. You, babe. Hold on, God.